This is Lost God Deku. So basically, there was once. Let's get into the story. There was once a lost god. No, not by no one. He one day said, "I've had enough." He lived in the godly domain. He one day said, "I've had enough of being in this domain." As he says, "You know what? I'll incarnate myself. I'll make myself have all my memories and powers. However, my body will have to eventually get used to them, but still." As he says, as he activates the eye of creation, the eye. Can I please use this without having the problems? He activates. May I add, he has one eyes on the back of his hands. On his left hand, it has death. So he opens the death's eye, and on the other hand, well, not that one. He activates the life's eye on his other hand. He activates this in his left eye, that in his right eye, which you can tell. He activates this on his chest, and he activates this on his forehead. As he says, godly reincarnation. Actually, no, reincarnation. Because I don't know what to call it when you have all your memories when you reincarnate, basically. So I'm just gonna go with that. As he did that, he reincarnated. As we skip 4 years after Izuku was born, he acts like a kid, and he is gonna be presumed quirkless because he hasn't created any quirks with his powers. He said it so that he will gain his powers, all of his powers, by the age of 4. So yeah. So that's gonna be good. As he still has all of his memories. As we skip to when he's 4, he is quirkless, and he goes, as he acts like he's crying, as he says, "Can I be a hero?" As she says, this time she says, "Sorry, but you can't." As he acts like he was crushed by that, he acts like it. As he then goes as we skip to one day later, he goes to his school and says, "Hey, actually no, we skip to the playground. The teacher says a lesson. The lesson's done. We skip to the playground, where he says, 'I'm quirkless,' as say Bakugo. As he then bullies him. We skip to one day when he turns 10. He says, 'What are you, useless or useless, more useless than useless?' Bakugo says, 'No.' He says, actually, no. Deku says, 'How dare you? I've had enough of this.' As you can tell, he's getting angry because his left eye turned into Death's eye, and his right eye turns into Eye of Destruction. As Bakugo's like, 'What are those?' As he says, 'I'm a god.' As he breaks out in rainbow lightning. As he goes into this form. Yeah, he goes into that form, which is the omnipotence form. As he says, 'I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna make you forget, and then I'm gonna make sure you don't do it.' And yeah, this isn't a godly voice. I just don't have voice changers, by the way. That's just how he said it. As he did that and then erased his memory, he deactivated it. He deactivated the Death's Eye. He deactivated the Destruction's Eye. Also, now I'm going to tell you all of the abilities. Yin Yang Eye, balance anything. Life Eye, control and create light. Death Eye, control and create death. Actually, no. Control and creation of death. Creation's Eye, create anything from nothing. Destruction's Eye, obliterate all things and faces. Dang it! It auto-corrected this. It's supposed to say flames of obliteration. Forms, Shinigami form, which is this. Then human form, and then omnipotence form, or God form, and then general powers: quirk creation, quirk destruction, quirk giving, quirk taking, unstealable eyes, control all elements, dimensional creation, dimensional destruction, and infinite energy. So yeah, this man's is OP. I don't know if he's most OP yet, but still. As we skip, Baku doesn't remember it. He thinks that he was just knocked out because he saw a villain attack that alley. As he then goes back to school way later, as he says, "Hey, Deku, what?" Actually, no, we skip. It's time for your beating. As he sees him run away. As then he says, as he tries to channel after him, he goes out the hall and he creates he's created thousands of quirks now, and he hasn't created teleportation yet, and he does that. As then he teleports away into his front door, and no cameras are there or anything. So yeah, as he knocks on the door, as she says, "Is it you, honey? You're a little early today." He says, "Yeah, Mom, I got a lot faster than I was." As he shows that he got faster with a very slight enhancement quirk that has no side effects, like the lighten from One for All. She says, "Okay, baby." As we skip to the last day of the school year, and he has now been doing it, and now the Bakugo say to jump off the roof, and this time he says, "You know what, Deku? I know that I'm powerful, but what are you? More useless or more useless?" As he says, "I've had enough of your shenanigans. And for your information, I'm a god." As then they see him break out in black flames and turn into Shinigami form. And he has this exact smile on. As he has two death's eyes in his eyes right now. And he has and he has the omniscient eye on his forehead, so that he can see all things that are happening. As he says, as he puts his hand on him, which has the symbol, the kanji for death on it right now. As he says, "Die." As then he activates the life sign and revives him and kills him and revives him. And then he erases his memory, except he knows that someone was able to kill him and revive him. As he then deactivates this. Also, as he then goes and says, "All Might, can I be a hero without a quirk?" When the Sledgevillain incident happens. As he saw what would happen in the future when he activated Omniscient's eye. As All Might said, "Yes." Actually, no. He said, "No. You cannot be a hero if you're quirkless." As that made Izuku a little angry. So later that day, he created a quirk that allowed him to go into a villainous form. Think of it like this, but the mask is giant. His hair is now turned black. His eyes are red. He has bangs. His skin is pale. He looks a lot like a vampire with a demonic mask on. So yeah, they think that he has a vampire quirk or a super quirk or something. And he uses this as a vigilante. As he one day he's doing vigilante work because this is in the 10 months of training. All Might sees him, and by now he's the #1 vigilante in the whole world. However, All Might thinks that he's able to beat him, as he says, "Hey, Demona," and he goes by the name Demonic Vampire. As he says, "Demonic Vampire, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to bring you to there." And may I add, he made himself look like he still looks the same age. Actually, yeah, as he says. Actually, no, he says, "Kid, why are you here?" As he sees the mask and is like, "Demonic Vampire. Wait, you're a kid?" As he says, "I'm a teenager, not a kid." As you can tell, he's getting a little angry. And he has in his left and they can tell, and they're like, as he's like, how are you? As then All Might says, "No, what? I'm sorry, but I have to knock you out, kid." As Izuku lets him punch him, but he didn't knock out. He just acts like it. As he then says, "I better bring him to the heroes." As then he goes there, as one knows, as he in this he's a pretty decently big fan of Eraserhead. After All Might said he couldn't be a hero. As then All Might said, I caught the #1 vigilante, the demonic vampire." As they say, "Wait, what?" As then they see him waking up. As they say, Aizawa cancel his quirk. As he says, "No use in that," in a little bit of a calm tone. As he says, I don't need to deal with you." As again, in the last 10 months, he has been thinking of things and has now gotten 5,000 quirks. Actually, no, not 5,000. When he was turned 4, by the time he turned 6, he had 5,000. And by the time he turned 12, he had what was it? Oh yeah, 25,000. So I'm gonna say now he has 100,000 quarks. Because for him, creating quarks is his favorite thing for pastime. So they're like, there's no use in that. As then they say, "You know what? We have to check your quirk." As they check his blood, his quirk gene, and they see like they check his body and scan his quirk genes, as they see 100,000 quirk genes on the dot. As they're like, "How many quirks do you have?" As he says, "I have 100,000 quirks. And I just thought of another." As he then makes an Eraserhead quirk. As they see his quirk gene just added another one out of nothing. As they're like, "Wait, how?" He says, "My basic ability is the ability to create quirks, destroy quirks, give quirks, and take quirks." I mean, I made it so I physically can't faint. That's one of my quirks. Oh, and All Might, I was just doing this for a mission. And so I say to you. And that's where I'm leaving this off. Now, almighty cliffhanger no jutsu.